What is that?
I don't know.
I think it's a phone.
It's the phone?
Yeah, it's the phone. Answer it.
Oh, okay. Well, I can answer it. Okay. Ready? Oh, yes, of course.
Who is it?
It's Dr. Rochelle Walensky.
Who is she?
She's the director of the CDC.
Oh, she called in?
Well, apparently.
Oh, yeah? Put her on speaker.
Okay, Dr. Walensky, can I put you on speakerphone? Okay, thank you.
Ask a question.
Okay, we've heard a lot about the vaccine mandates, and do you think they're working? Is it something that we should be doing? Do the vaccine mandates actually work?
Do they work? What are the mandates?
Mandates are, say, government or...
You know, what I would say, I'm a physician, I'm a public health official, I'm not a lawyer, but what I will say is we know that the more people who are vaccinated, the more of the communities that's protected, the less disease that there is in the community. We have seen that these vaccine mandates do get more people vaccinated. So I am enthusiastic about getting more people vaccinated because I think that's good to protect individuals, it's good to protect their own health, their families, and that of the communities around them.
Okay, and thank you. And but the mandates in some of them, the healthcare workers, if we
it absolutely creates a challenge. What I would say is to have these, to do some work to educate these healthcare workers, to meet them where they are, to understand where their hesitancy is, so we can get them vaccinated and get them back to work.
And what about booster shots? We know it's a process. The healthcare workers, frontline workers. What can you say about booster shots? About the process for booster shots? I know I got mine on Monday.
You did?
Yeah, I got mine on Monday.
Why?
This scientific process goes from an advisory committee at the FDA to the authorization of the FDA to an advisory committee at the CDC and then recommendations from the CDC. It's a very transparent, scientific, public process. And I listened intently, and after doing so, I fully endorsed the recommendations from the CDC advisory committee for boosters for those over the age of 65, as well as for those with underlying conditions. And then I also endorsed in full alignment with the FDA and many people at the CDC for boosters for people with high-risk exposures like those who work in occupational settings or in group settings, that live in group settings. And I felt, after listening to all of the science, that was actually the best move for public health.
Okay, you said it was a public process. Do you agree? What about there has been some mixed messaging in this process? Different sources saying different things. I know it's not easy, but can you talk about the public process? Can you speak to that to our listeners? I think both of them would like to hear about it.
Back in August, when we were starting to see some early waning data, we were very public about our plan to get ahead of the virus, to make sure that when boosters had been authorized by the CDC and authorized by the FDA and recommended by the CDC, that we would be ready. The scientific process unfolded the way it should. It happened to be very public and a lot of public interest this time. But this is, in fact, how the scientific process should happen. And the science was reviewed, and these were the recommendations that were made.
How soon can we see boosters for Moderna and J&J?
Jerry, how soon can we see boosters for the Moderna and J&J folks? How soon could we expect to see that?
Yeah, what about that? Yeah, what can we do about that? Dr. Walensky?
First, as you note, I want to make sure everyone understands that these were recommendations for people who got the Pfizer shot more than 6 months ago of their second dose. We will, with similar urgency, we haven't forgotten you if you've gotten Moderna and J&J, we will, with similar urgency, address boosters for those populations, as well as looking at the science and data for mix and matching. I want to reiterate that, this is a very slow wane. There is no urgency here to go and get your booster immediately. Walk, don't run to your booster appointment, and we will come and look at the data for Moderna and J&J in very short order. But really, in the meantime, among our focuses now is not just the boosters, but to get those 70 million Americans who are not yet vaccinated.
We understand that. I'll take you off speaker now, and Dr. Walensky, we want to thank you for your time and your information here today. We sincerely appreciate your call in. So thank you, and again we thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Walensky. She was was from Boston.
Right, she was from Boston, and I did get my Pfizer, both my Pfizer shots, and I got my Pfizer booster on Monday.
Yeah, you did? Why? You need a boost?
Well, yeah, you don't. Well, yeah, it's a boost is certainly it's going to help protect me more.
So you won't die?
Well, I'll eventually die.
Yeah, I know. I won't.
Probably not. Probably not, because you're not real.
I'm real. Yeah!